Ah, there you are. I knew I'd find you here. I hope you haven't been waiting long. There's no point looking around to try to find me. My name is Francis Light. I've been dead since 1794. I ended my days peacefully, here in Malaysia, Penang to be exact, where you're standing now. I hope I didn't scare you. I'm here to share a story about the Chinese in 19th century Penang. It's a story of collaboration and hard work, but also one of crime, vice, gang conflicts and war, before resolving in prosperity. Our story starts here in Georgetown, the coastal capital of Penang. You're standing directly opposite the revered Kuan Yin Temple, named after the goddess of mercy. This is one of the most magnificent examples of Chinese architecture, and remains so until this day. Notice the sweeping, overhanging roof, with its ornate copings and ridges, which reflect designs from the ancient Chinese homeland. When I was 25 years old, I sailed from England to India to seek my fortune. I established a small trading operation and sailed between Madras, Thailand, and the Malaysian peninsula. At the time, and without the permission of the British, I sought to establish Penang as a trading port to service Southeast Asia and to protect this island from threats from the powerful Burmese and Siamese. Even before it was established as a colonial trading hub, Penang was a popular destination for weary sailors who would land Chinese junks laden with treasure and spices here and arrive thirsty and weary at this very temple to consume sweet fresh water from 3 underground springs. Over here, at the side of the temple, lies the well, which was intended for public use. The other 2 spring water wells are locked inside. The locals call these wells the 3 Eyes of the Dragon. Can you smell the incense? Incense is burned in sticks to offer a smoke signal to the gods, or as part of ancestral worship. If you do want to light some incense sticks, be sure to place only 3 sticks at a time. The number 3 is very important in Buddhism, as it represents the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The smell from these incense sticks reminds me of my one true love, Martina Roswitz, who used to adore their pungent smoke. We had 5 children together here in Penang, and she taught me to speak Malaysian and Thai. Some say that she was a blue-blooded Siamese princess, descended from Tai King Wongkut. Others that she was a fugitive. I simply remember her as Martina, my love, the mother of my 5 children and business partner, who helped me to put Penang on the map as an important... Now you're inside the Kuan Yin Temple. Can you see the main altar, upon which sits the statue of the goddess of mercy? At her side is Ma Chor Po, the patron goddess of the sea, who we'll be meeting later on our journey. This temple has witnessed every stage of the Chinese story here in Penang, and there are a few other structures more fundamentally linked to the community. Incense sticks and candles are still traded outside the temple in stalls, much like they were during the time I was alive. Are you ready to meet the people selling these goods today? When I was alive, almost 300 years ago, letter writers, lantern craftsmen, and stallholders would gather here to meet, socialize, and do business. The Chinese were drawn to Penang to escape from the corrupt tax systems of the Qing dynasty in their homeland. They sailed to Southeast Asia, but met with the Dutch colonies, who had a monopoly on trade, so conditions weren't much better than back home. When I established Georgetown as a free port in 1786 for trading precious spices, including nutmeg, pepper and cloves, I declared that settlers could own whatever land they could clear. Word quickly spread among the eager Chinese who were faster to establish themselves, and before the end of the 18th century, different dialect groups, Hokkien, Cantonese, and Teochew, were united, living in harmony and away from the problems in the country they had all left behind. Unified by their temple and hunger for prosperity, and working collaboratively with the British, no one expected that the first rivalries were about to emerge. Here we are in the stall. Goods are traded here outside of the temple for tourists and visitors. The growth of Georgetown was linked to the growth of the port. It was so successful that in 1805 the British East India Company made Penang its fourth presidency, alongside Bengal, Bombay and Madras. In 1810, Penang had Hokkien traders, bearing the names Lim, Koo, Chia and Lee, setting up shipping businesses and making a very good living. Looking back, a major mistake we made was to appoint some of the Chinese traders as tax collectors. This fractured their close-knit community, as those who had been appointed became disproportionately wealthy, profiting from the work of their kinsmen. Nevertheless, the different Chinese communities with their unique dialects established clans and temples called Kongshi, and worked to ensure those who bore their name or spoke their dialect would find support when arriving in Penang to seek their fortunes. Let's head into Georgetown and see what else we can learn from the layout and architecture of the place.